Driving at night is one of the few moments in life where you're completely alone and completely exposed. There's something different about the road after midnight, something the daylight hides. The highways stretch out like endless black tunnels, the air becomes colder, and every shadow on the shoulder looks like it's waiting for you to get a little closer. Most people think the biggest dangers on the road are accidents, drunk drivers, or animals crossing the lane. But ask anyone who's had to travel long distances in the dead of night, and they'll tell you the same thing. It's not what's on the road that scares you. It's what stands just outside your headlights. Tonight, you'll hear 3 stories from drivers who learned the hard way that not every figure you see on the side of the road is human, that not every call for help is real, and that sometimes, the things you pass on the highway aren't behind you when you look back, they're ahead of you. Turn off your lights. Put on your headphones. And whatever you do, don't stop the car. Story 1. The Night Driver on Route 46. I've been a long-haul delivery driver for almost 10 years, and I've seen my share of strange things on the road: accidents, wildlife, drunk drivers, weird people walking at 3 a.m. But nothing compares to what happened on Route 46 3 winters ago. I was transporting equipment across the state, driving through rural areas where the only light came from my headlights and the occasional reflection off road signs. Snow was coming down hard, and the radio kept losing signal. It was around 1:40 a.m. when I noticed something off. About 100 meters ahead, I saw a person standing on the shoulder, completely still. At first I thought it was someone who crashed their car or needed help. I slowed down a little, squinting through the snow. They didn't move. They didn't wave. They didn't step back. They just stood there, facing the road, wearing something that looked like a long black coat. No reflective gear, no flashlight, nothing. As I passed them, they turned their head in an unnaturally slow motion and looked directly at me. I don't mean look toward the truck. I mean their eyes met mine through my windshield. But here's the part that still makes my skin crawl. Their face looked wrong. Not deformed. Not injured. Just blank. Like someone wearing a human skin mask that didn't quite fit. I pressed down on the gas and drove faster. The snow got heavier, and soon I could barely see 20 meters ahead. The whole road felt suffocating and endless. But then, maybe 10 minutes later, my stomach dropped. Someone was standing on the shoulder again. Same coat. Same height. Same posture. I slammed the brakes so hard my truck fishtailed. The figure didn't react. Didn't turn. Didn't step back. They just stood there, like they'd been waiting. My hands were shaking when I pulled my truck forward again, refusing to look directly at them as I passed. But out of the corner of my eye, I saw the same thing. That slow head turn. That face that wasn't a face. Those eyes that didn't blink. I drove for hours after that without stopping. Didn't drink water, didn't adjust the radio, didn't even look in the mirrors. I was terrified I'd see them behind me. When I finally reached a gas station at dawn, I ran inside and told the clerk what happened. He stared at me for a moment before saying, "You must be new on Route 46. I asked him what he meant. He said, "People around here call him the Still One. Truckers see him when the weather's bad. Always standing in the exact same spot. Some swear he follows them up the highway." I didn't believe him, or at least I tried not to. But here's the part I've never told anyone. A week later, I checked the dashcam footage. Every time that figure appeared on the side of the road, the camera glitched. The screen froze. Static filled the audio. Except for one frame. One single, corrupted frame near the end of the video. It showed my truck moving. And behind it, barely visible through the snow, a figure standing in the middle of the road, facing me. I had never seen anyone standing there. Not in front. Not in the mirrors. Not anywhere. I haven't driven Route 46 since. Story 2, the woman who waves cars down at mile marker 12. I used to work the late shift at a warehouse 2 towns away, which meant I drove the same lonely highway every night, Highway 92. If you've ever driven it, you know there are barely any exits, no streetlights, and the trees crowd so close to the asphalt that the darkness seems to swallow the road whole. Most nights were the same, empty highway, static on the radio, and the hum of my old sedan. But last October, something changed. It was around 2:15 a.m. when I saw her. A woman standing near mile marker 12, waving both arms like she was trying to flag someone down. At first I thought she'd crashed her car or maybe needed help. She was wearing a long white shirt or dress, something loose that moved with the wind. Her hair was long and dark, and she kept stepping toward the road. My stomach twisted. Something about the scene felt wrong. I slowed down, rolling closer with caution. The woman didn't wave frantically, it was more rhythmic. Almost like she was timing each gesture. I lowered my window just a little. "Are you okay?" I shouted. She stopped waving instantly. Then, without taking a step, she leaned forward, unnaturally far, like her neck stretched more than it should. Her face slipped into the light of my headlights. And I swear to God, she didn't have a mouth. Where her mouth should have been, there was just smooth skin. I panicked, slammed the window shut, and hit the gas so hard my tires skidded. My rearview mirror shook, but I made the mistake of looking into it anyway. She was standing in the middle of the road now. Not waving. Not walking. Just facing my car as I sped away. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't tell anyone either. Who would believe me? But a few nights later, it happened again. Same time. Same stretch of highway. Same woman. Except this time, she was closer to the middle of the road, like she knew exactly where my car would be. Her arms were raised above her head, but she wasn't waving. She was reaching. I swerved around her, nearly driving off the road. And again, she didn't turn to watch me pass. She didn't move at all. That's when I decided to take the long route home, an extra 30 minutes, just to avoid mile marker 12. And for a while, everything was fine. Until one night, my GPS glitched and rerouted me onto Highway 92 without warning. At first, I thought it was a mistake, but then I saw the familiar trees and my heart dropped. I checked my phone, the map was frozen. No way to reroute. No signal. I drove praying I wouldn't see her again. When I reached mile marker 12, my headlights flickered. Once. Twice. Then they shut off completely. My car kept moving in pitch black darkness. I slammed the brakes and tried the switch, tapping it desperately. Finally the lights blinked back on, and there she was, directly in front of my hood, inches away from the glass. Her hair covered most of her face, but this time I could see something else. Two deep impressions where her mouth should have been, like the skin was trying to open but couldn't. She lifted her hand and placed it on my windshield. The glass fogged instantly, but not from her breath. It was ice cold, like a freezer door. I reversed so fast I burned rubber, turned the car around, and peeled off the highway. I quit that night. New job, new schedule, new route, anything to avoid Highway 92. But here's what really messed me up. 2 weeks after I stopped driving that road, my dad showed me a local news article. He knows I used to take Highway 92 at night and thought I'd find it interesting. The headline said, "Unidentified woman killed in hit and run at mile marker 12, driver still missing." The date? 3 days before the first night I saw her. The description? Long dark hair. White dress. And, according to the article, her face was severely damaged in the accident, jaw and mouth area unrecognizable. I don't know what she wants or why she chose me. But sometimes, when I'm parked in my driveway late at night, my windshield fogs. From the outside. Story 3. The Highway Patrol Call I Shouldn't have received. Story 3. The Highway Patrol Call I Shouldn't have received. I used to volunteer for the local highway patrol as a weekend dispatcher. Not a cop, Just the guy who took calls, logged incidents, and relayed them to the officers on duty. It was usually boring, reports of debris on the road, broken down cars, and the occasional drunk driver weaving between lanes. But one night, the night that made me quit, taught me that some calls never should have gone through. It was a slow Sunday around 3:30 a.m. when the phone rang. I remember the exact timestamp because I wrote it in the log before answering, 3 hours 32 minutes and 17 seconds. "Highway Patrol, what's your emergency?" I said. For a few seconds, there was nothing but static. Then a man's voice came through, shaky and breathless. I'm on Highway 27. Near exit 41. Please. Someone's following me. I sat up. "Sir, are you being chased by another vehicle?" He didn't answer immediately. I heard his engine roaring, tires screeching like he was taking a turn way too fast. "Not a vehicle," he finally whispered. My stomach tightened. "Okay, sir, stay on the line." "Who's following you?" The man inhaled sharply, like he was gathering his courage. "She keeps appearing in the road." I frowned. "You mean she's on foot?" "Yes. Every time I drive past her, she's ahead of me again. Same clothes, same hair, same face. She doesn't even move. She just appears." His voice broke on the last word. This wasn't normal. But Highway 27 at night had a reputation for weird calls, hallucinations from exhausted truckers, people mistaking shadows for figures, that sort of thing. I tried to keep my voice steady. "Sir, can you describe her?" The sound that came from him didn't even sound human, half sob, half scream. "She doesn't have eyes." Before I could respond, I heard the man yell and the engine rev louder than before. "She's standing in the middle of the lane. Sir, do not swerve off the road. Listen to me." But then came a loud crash. Metal tearing. Glass shattering. And then, silence. The line was still connected, but there was no breathing, no movement. Just static. I radioed the nearest unit immediately. "Possible accident near mile 41. Caller claims pedestrian on the road." "Responding?" Officer Daniels answered. "Copy. 2 minutes out." I stayed glued to the line, hoping the caller would speak again. He never did. About 6 minutes later, Daniels called me back. "Dispatch, there's nothing here." My heart dropped. "What do you mean nothing?" "No car. No debris. No skid marks. No sign of an accident at all." "That's impossible," I said. "I heard it happen." Daniels hesitated. "We have one thing. The emergency phone box at mile 41 was knocked open. Looks like someone tried to use it." "That wasn't him," I said automatically. He called from his cell phone. More silence. "Dispatch, there's something else." "What?" "We found footprints leading from the phone box onto the road. Bare footprints. Small. Female. So the woman he saw." "No," Daniels interrupted. "It rained an hour ago. The prints are fresh. But listen, there's only one set. No tire marks. No other footsteps. Just her." "Where do they lead?" I whispered. Daniels took a shaky breath. "They stop in the middle of the highway. Dead center. As if she stood there, and then vanished." He didn't say anything else after that. We filed a missing person report for the caller, but his number disconnected the next day. His car was never found. No family came forward. No one matched his voice to any missing person case. And then, a month later, I got another call. Same time. Same static. Same terrified breathing. But this time, there was no voice. Just the sound of a woman humming, low, slow, and right against the receiver. I checked the caller ID. It was the same number. The same number as the man who'd vanished. I quit that morning. But sometimes, when I'm driving late at night, my phone lights up with an unknown caller. And I swear I hear that same humming in the background, just waiting for me to pick up. And those were 3 of the most unsettling encounters ever reported on empty highways. Stories from drivers who weren't looking for trouble, but found something waiting for them in the dark anyway. If there's one thing these roads teach you, it's this. The night doesn't always let you pass through quietly. Some places don't like being crossed. Some figures don't want to be ignored. And some voices shouldn't be answered at all. So next time you're driving late, and the road feels too quiet, or you catch a shape in the corner of your headlights, don't slow down. Don't look twice. And whatever you do, never stop for anyone on an empty highway. Thanks for listening. Stay safe out there. And remember, the road is a lot darker than it looks.